What's going on, y'all? How's everybody been doing? So before we jump into this video, the coolest thing happened to me last night. So as I was passing this driver, I happened to look over and I could see he had his cab light on. I just happened to look over and he had his phone on the dash and he was actually watching one of my videos. So I pull up next to it, I'm looking at him and he goes like, I thought it was the funniest thing. So let me find out y'all be watching me late night to keep y'all awake. Let me find out that's what's going on. So, okay, shout out to you. If you see this video, shout out to you. So tonight, we're going to talk about bid runs or extra board, which one you should bid for. Because I know a few of you guys have asked me, what do you recommend? And I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's all up to you. Now, for those who really aren't familiar with line haul, I'm going to educate you guys. A bid run is basically a scheduled run. If you're in truckload, you know, they have the term dedicated. That's basically what it is. So each time you bid for a run, it could be every 6 months, it could be every year. And it's all just going to depend on when the company does it. So bid runs, scheduled runs. So let's just say you have a set run where you go from Tampa to Valdosta. That's your run. Every night you'll do that. Now with bid runs, you could either do a meet and turn where you meet another driver. You could do, that's also called a fast turn. Now we also have what's called a slow turn. Now slow turns, not every company has it, but basically a slow turn, I'll give you a perfect example. Let's say you have a run from Tampa to Atlanta. That's considered a slow turn because you'll go there, you'll lay over, you'll come back because obviously you can't do that round trip within 11 hours. So that's a slow turn. And then they have hub, which is where you might go to a terminal and work the dock, or you might just bounce terminal to terminal. Extra board is basically another term for a system. While they're all pretty much the same, you basically will extra board, you know, it's a bunch of different things you could do within the extra board. Extra board, you might pull extra freight that a bid driver couldn't take. So maybe they had extra freight. You might do that on the extra board. You could cover for a bid driver, you know, if they go on vacation. And with extra board, scheduling could vary. You know, with extra board, you know, you could be home every day, you could be home every other day, or you could be out 5 days, Monday through Friday. Same with wild, same as system. Now with a bid run, you could be home every day. You could be home every other day, or you could be out maybe 2 days at a time. So it's just going to depend. Now, when you first come into line haul, typically you're going to start off on the extra board, which could be wild system. Same thing, y'all. Or, because I know some people say there's no way you can get a bid run when you first come in. That's not necessarily true. You know, depending on the terminal and how bad they need drivers there, you might be able to come in and get a bid run. Now, if you're thinking you're going to jump in and get a 600-mile bid run, day run, it's not going to happen. Most likely, it's going to be the smallest run. As far as how many miles you'll get a night, it's going to just depend. You know, you can get as much as 600 plus miles. You can get as low as 300 miles. So it's just going to depend. As far as what you should go for, you know, it just depends on your situation. You know, if you want to go to the same terminal every night or go to the same meet point every night, then go for the bid run. You know, if you're somebody that maybe wants to stay out 5 days, or somebody that doesn't really care about being home every single day, go for the extra board. In most cases, extra board drivers, they do make more. Now, as far as me, you know, I had the opportunity to get a bid run, but based on where I sit in seniority, the runs that I'm able to get, I don't really want. So it made sense for me to run extra, basically. And let me give you another example of why it's good to be an extra driver versus a bid driver. Now, as you guys know, winter does come around. Depending on where you live in the region, you know, some terminals get shut down. So let's say you're in Colorado, right? And you meet and turn with a driver out of, let's just say, Wyoming. Now, those of y'all that have driven OTR, you guys know how Wyoming and Colorado gets in the winter time. So if one of those areas gets shut down, you as a bid driver, you might not run. Now, if you're on the extra board, and let's just say you run out of Colorado, they could run you east, so that way you have other options versus if you have a bid run, more than likely you may not run. Now, that's not always the case, but in a lot of cases, you may not run. Another reason why extra board is better than a bid run is when you have a bid run, sometimes runs get cut. If you don't have enough freight to take, or your meat driver doesn't have freight to take, they might cancel the run. But if you're on the extra board, you have endless options of places you can go to. Now, I'm not trying to tell you guys to go to the extra board or to go to bid, but it's just, guys, it just depends on your preference, and it just depends on your situation. If you don't want to run wild, go for a bid run. If you want to run wild, go for the extra board. As far as where you'll stay, some companies, they're gonna have bunkhouses, basically a hotel on property, or you'll just stay in a hotel. Most companies, they'll give you a list of hotels you can stay at that's near that particular terminal, and you'll go from there. Now, as far as how many miles you'll get on a bid run, it's just gonna vary. You can get as much as maybe 3,300 miles. You can get as low as maybe 1,800 miles. Extra board, your miles are gonna be inconsistent and it's gonna vary. So as far as which one to go for, again, that's all up to you. And if it fits your situation, go for a bid run. Now, if you know you're at the bottom in seniority, and if miles and money is a big factor for you, then consider the extra board. Maybe you could stay on the extra board until you get higher in seniority to where you can get a good scheduled run. All right, y'all, I'll catch y'all on the next one.